shocking indecency, a moral outrage, banned for lewd content. These are just a few of the reactions that have greeted nude art throughout history. From the Sistine Chapel to social media, the depiction of the unclothed human form has sparked debate and challenged our understanding of art. Why do some cultures revere the nude form as the pinnacle of artistic expression, while others rush to cover it up? The answer is complex and multifaceted. Join us as we delve into the captivating and often controversial world of nude art, exploring its historical context, the motivations behind its censorship, and the enduring questions it raises about our relationship with the human body. The human experience is a tapestry woven from diverse threads, with each culture contributing its own unique patterns and perspectives. This diversity is strikingly evident in the way different societies have approached nudity in art. In ancient Greece, the athletic male nude was celebrated as a symbol of physical perfection and prowess. Sculptures like Myron's Discobolus and Polykleitos' Doryphoros embodied the Greek ideal of a sound mind in a sound body, their nudity not only accepted but revered. Contrast this with the art of ancient civilizations in the Middle East, where religious beliefs often led to more modest depictions of the human form. In these cultures, clothing served not only as a practical necessity but also as a symbol of modesty and social status. The female form, in particular, was often veiled or draped, reflecting societal norms and religious interpretations of the body. What is considered beautiful and acceptable in one culture may be deemed offensive or taboo in another. The year is 1541. Michelangelo, the artistic titan of the Renaissance, stands before his recently completed masterpiece, The Last Judgment. This monumental fresco, adorning the altar wall of the Sistine Chapel, depicts the second coming of Christ and the final judgment of humanity. Initially, the fresco was met with awe and acclaim. However, as the winds of the Counter-Reformation swept through Europe, a climate of moral scrutiny descended upon the Catholic Church. The Council of Trent, convened in 1563 to address the challenges of the Protestant Reformation, turned its attention to Michelangelo's masterpiece. The nudity of the figures, once celebrated as a testament to the beauty of the human form, was now deemed indecent and inappropriate for a sacred space. Daniele da Volterra, a painter of lesser renown, was commissioned to paint drapery over the offending figures, earning him the unflattering nickname Il Braghettone, the breeches maker. This act serves as a stark reminder of the ongoing tension between artistic freedom and the forces that seek to control and constrain it. Michelangelo's Last Judgment is one chapter in the history of nudity in art. From cave paintings to digital art, artists have explored the naked human form. To understand this, we must journey back to early human expression. The Venus of Willendorf, carved over 25,000 years ago, fascinates with its exaggerated features. It speaks to our ancestors' focus on fertility and the female form. Its meaning is unclear, but it shows the enduring power of the nude in art. In ancient Greece, the idealized male nude symbolized physical perfection and virtue. Sculptures like the Discobolus embodied Greek ideals of athletic prowess. Nudity was a symbol of strength and social standing. The Romans continued this tradition, emphasizing realism and portraiture. Their art depicted mythology and daily life, treating nudity as natural. Christianity brought new values, shaping the depiction of nudity through the Middle Ages and Renaissance. Section 5. The Modern Veil, Censorship in the Digital Age. As we step into the 21st century, a new era of censorship unfolds before our eyes, this time playing out on the vast and ever-expanding stage of the digital world. Social media platforms, once hailed as bastions of free speech and open dialogue, have become increasingly adept at policing the content that flows through their digital veins. Algorithms, those invisible gatekeepers of the internet, scan and filter images and videos, often flagging and removing content deemed inappropriate or offensive, including nude art. But where do we draw the line between protecting users from harmful content and stifling artistic expression? Is it possible to create a digital space that allows for both freedom and responsibility? These are questions that artists, activists, and tech companies are grappling with as we navigate the complex and ever-evolving landscape of online censorship. Section 6. Strokes of Defiance. Controversial canvases. Throughout history, certain artworks have challenged the status quo, sparking debates about the nature of art itself. Edouard Manet's Olympia, painted in 1863, shocked the Parisian art world with its realism and defiant gaze. Unlike idealized Venuses, Olympia was a real woman, staring back with confidence and defiance. Gustave Courbet's The Origin of the World, painted in 1866, caused an uproar and remains controversial. Some view it as obscene, others as a bold celebration of female sexuality. These artworks remind us that art asks difficult questions and sparks dialogue, even when uncomfortable. Section 7. The Art of Concealment, a humorous take on censorship. While censorship is often treated as a serious and even somber topic, it can also be a source of humor, albeit of a somewhat ironic and absurd kind. Throughout history, the attempts to censor nudity in art have often resulted in comical and even counterproductive outcomes, highlighting the futility of trying to impose rigid moral standards on artistic expression. Take, for instance, the infamous fig leaf. This humble piece of foliage has been employed for centuries to conceal the genitals of nude statues, from Michelangelo's David to countless classical sculptures. While intended to preserve modesty, the addition of these often ill-fitting and comically placed fig leaves often serves only to draw attention to the very body parts they are meant to conceal. Then there are the more creative attempts at censorship, such as the strategic placement of plants, drapery, or even strategically positioned cherubs. These efforts, while perhaps well-intentioned, often end up looking more like afterthoughts or worse, acts of vandalism that detract from the original artistic vision. Section 8. Unveiling the controversy, vulnerability, and the gaze. At the heart of the ongoing debate over nudity in art lies a fundamental tension between our fascination with the human body and our anxieties about its power to attract, arouse, and even offend. The naked body, stripped bare of the social armor of clothing, is both vulnerable and confrontational. It exposes us to our own mortality, our animal nature, and the complexities of our desires. This vulnerability is particularly acute when it comes to the depiction of the female nude. Throughout history, women's bodies have been subjected to a relentless gaze, objectified, idealized, and controlled. The challenge for contemporary artists is to find new ways to depict the nude that challenge these historical power dynamics and celebrate the beauty and complexity of the human body without objectifying or exploiting it. This involves being mindful of the gaze, both the artists and the viewers, and creating works that invite contemplation and dialogue, rather than simply reinforcing existing power structures. Section 9. The canvas remains open. Nudity in the artistic dialogue. As we stand at the intersection of art and society, one thing is clear. The debate over nudity in art is far from over. The human body, in all its vulnerability and complexity, continues to captivate and challenge artists, critics, and viewers alike. What is considered acceptable or offensive will continue to evolve as cultural norms shift and new generations of artists emerge with fresh perspectives and ways of seeing. The key to navigating this ongoing dialogue lies in fostering open and respectful communication. We must be willing to listen to and learn from those who hold different views, even as we advocate for our own. We must recognize that art has the power to provoke, challenge, and even offend, and that this is not always a bad thing. Ultimately, by approaching this subject with sensitivity, open-mindedness, and a willingness to engage in thoughtful dialogue, we can create a space where art can continue to push boundaries, spark conversation, and offer us new ways of seeing ourselves and the world around us.